Well, in front of me are the Rocky Mountains. That means I've gone from the eastern seaboard through and over the Appalachian Mountains, across the central US and Canada, and I've made it to the Rockies. So downtown Sioux Falls, South Dakota, surprised me. Of course, on a Sunday night, dead at 8 o'clock. I got in around 5. Just had a super light dinner at the hotel, but went exploring a little bit, and there's this huge park on the river. It's a greenway park. Bicycles, joggers, dogs, cats living together. It was awesome. Beautiful park, but last night severe thunderstorms came through. But this is what we have for the weather today. It is beautiful out today, and so this morning I got up and tore through that park for a few miles. Just it's important when you're riding a motorcycle around the country to still work out, to still get your workout in. So that's what I was doing this morning. And it's like 10 o'clock, 10:30 local time, and I'm just now getting on the interstate. Going to be a long riding day, but it's good to enjoy that kind of thing. Entering the Badlands National Park. So the Badlands Loop is about a 30-mile loop south of the interstate that you can ride down, and it just takes you right back up to Wall, South Dakota, and I am gonna stop and pay. I have no idea how much this is gonna cost, but I'll gladly pay it. $15. Howdy.
$15.
How do you pronounce your last name? That's awesome. My last name is Hageback. When I see an unusual one, I try to get it right. Thank you. Okay, $15, well spent. So, yeah, so the Badlands. I think they get their name because they're bad. I'm kidding. Oh man, let me pull up here, get a photo. Big Badlands overlook. Big Badlands overlook. It's funny. Boop. Yeah, so a buddy of mine has said, "Oh my gosh, the Badlands! It's amazing. It's super pretty." I'm like, okay, hope so. We'll see. Well, here I am in the Badlands of South Dakota. It's sandstone pillars from an ancient sea that was here, and it just stretches on for miles and miles and miles. And of course, all these cars from Walmart, but really, really worth. It's just a 30-mile loop south of I-90 in South Dakota, and really well worth it. $15 for a motorcycle to get in. Anyway, scenic, highly recommended. So the road in the Badlands National Park it's not what I would call good, but I've ridden worse. It's just great scenery. It looks like something out of Cars, you know, the cartoon from a few years ago. Really nice. So motorcyclists are all over this area. I think mostly because the well, one, the scenery is great, and two, Sturgis is, you know, less than 100 miles away, and tens of thousands of motorcyclists have shown up for that. But the Badlands, okay. Alright, so the city of Wall is little more than a gas stop and this drugstore that has, well, it's a drugstore, fast food joint. There's a Harley shop. There's really downtown. I mean, all right. So there's more than just Wall Drugs. It's pretty all-encompassing actually now, but it's still just kind of a quick whistle stop. Anyway, I'm gonna go in and experience all things Wall Drug. It's a leather jacket, not a life jacket. Look out for motorcycles. Huh. That's a cool sign. Yeah. The other side says ride to live, live to ride. On your way to welcome to Sturgis or something like that. Cool. Oh, isn't that something? It's good that the Wyoming Department of Transportation is on the ball, safety message-wise. It's awesome. So, as you ride across the country, you will run into weird things. For no apparent reason, there's this yellow airplane just mounted on a pole next to the interstate. What the hell? I have no idea what that's for. Oh well. On my way to Gillette, Wyoming now. I want to talk about the motorcycle for a minute. Brand new Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sport BCT model. It's a fine motorcycle, handled really well until it died, firmly died in Gillette, Wyoming. So when you're on a motorcycle trip and it dies, you have to have kind of a plan. So I found a Honda shop in town. I took it there. It was due for some service anyway. I was 200 miles overdue for an oil filter and change, and I like to have a professional check my chain tension, so I had him do that. Well, anyway, so that was service, and then I said, you know, there's a fuel feed problem. It's cutting out at speed. You know, I can feel it kind of resisting, and then when I come to a stop after going on interstate, I feel the engine dies. He said, oh, okay, yeah, we'll take a look at it. Well, the fuel pump for this machine is deep in the bowels of this gas tank, and you have to take, pretty much everything you see here off. Oh, check that, it's raining. So you have to take everything off to get to it. So I said, great, do that. And I left Gillette, Wyoming for a few days to go visit some friends back in Canada. So I flew up there while they were working on my motorcycle. Who knew that Gillette had an airport? Anyway, so I got back and come to find out the issue is the epoxy or the whatever they use to attach the fuel pump into the tank has already broken down. This is a brand new motorcycle. It's a couple months old. I have 7,300 miles on it. So that glue that they use to hold fuel pump into the gas tank has started to come apart, and little chunks of it, well, really big chunks of it, began floating freely in the gas. And then that was getting pulled into the fuel filter and clogging the fuel filter. And I kind of diagnosed it where I thought it was behaving like a clogged fuel filter from my old days with I had an old Suzuki that would do that occasionally. But anyway, the prognosis is bad. They said, yeah, we called around to some other shops that service these Africa Twins, and they say this is pretty much a common problem, and we're just waiting on Honda to do a service bulletin for a recall on this particular issue, because that's a major issue. If I'm deep in the bowels of Alaska, riding alone, expecting my motorcycle not to degrade and break down, well, I should be able to expect that. I really should. It should not, and it shouldn't be a component of the motorcycle that is causing it to break down. So I'm not real thrilled. I like the way it handles. It's a great bike for that, but I am not crazy about this mechanical issue that I'm told may or may not persist. So I'm really hoping that it does not persist. If it does, I'm going to take this motorcycle to a shop in Seattle, and I'm going to buy a Yamaha Super Tenere and finish the damn trip. All my Yamaha friends are thrilled about that. I really don't want a BMW. I really don't want a BMW. Let me say it again. I don't want a BMW. I've owned a BMW. I've paid exorbitant amounts of money to keep that thing running. I'd say that, and I'm on this Honda. I bought it partially because of the reliability and the cost of maintenance, but the closest BMW dealership to Gillette, Wyoming is, yeah, there's not one. No, there's one in, I think there's one in Sturgis, or there is this week anyway. Alright, enough babbling. I'll check in later. Hey everybody, I'm going to take a quick break from working on this video for you to explain some of this video for you. I took some still photos while I was in Gillette, Wyoming. My motorcycle broke down while I was there. Fuel filter problem, not a huge issue, except that on the Honda Africa Twin, the fuel filter is inside the gas tank. It's not one of those cool little inline ones that you can buy for $3. So I had to get it into a shop. It sputtered and stopped on the interstate pretty not good. Got it in the shop. They took it all apart. In the interest of speed, they just cleaned it up for me, put it back together, and let me go. I made it about 14 miles up the road. Motorcycle died, full stop. They came pick me up with a trailer. We went back, and now suddenly there's an issue with getting parts and making sure that I'm still in front of the line because I'm an out-of-towner. I don't have an appointment with them, and here I am saying, well, I'm on this big motorcycle trip. You guys should, you know, bump me in front of all your loyal customers. That's not a thing that most shops want to do. So I bought everybody their lunch and just explained, hey, I'm a pretty nice guy, and if you can help me out, I would appreciate it. So they did. They got the part on order. It took a couple of days. While my parts were on order and while it was just sitting there, instead of me hanging around in Gillette, Wyoming, which I had for 2 days already, and seen everything, I took a flight back east to visit some friends and family. After a couple of days, I got the phone call, hey, sir, your bike is ready. Jetted back out there, landed, got on the bike, and finished the ride. No further issue with a fuel filter. I carried a spare fuel filter with me and all the tools needed to take off the tank and then access the fuel filter. So you'll see some photos here about Gillette, and that's kind of a quick explanation about all of that. Hey riders, thanks very much for watching that video in its entirety. If you would, click over here on the subscribe button, and then the button just to the right of it, that is the bell button, and if you press that, that lets YouTube know that you want to know what I've been up to on this particular channel. So every time I post something new, they'll alert you, and that's cool. Because if I'm just doing this for me, I'm not going to be doing this. So please subscribe, be aware, know what's going on. Also below, you're going to find my channels to my social media, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that shizzle bedrizzle. You can sign up for those too. Stay alert, stay aware of what's going on. Also, I'm going to share the link to Motohawk.com. That's where you can go to make me be your ride guide to the Southeast United States. If you're traveling in North Georgia, East Tennessee, Western North Carolina, Virginia, or West Virginia on 2 wheels, let me help you out. I've got 3 great books. They're available on the website, and there's some other cool information to share on the website too. All right, I hope that you really enjoyed the video. Be safe, ride smart, but have a great time.